is English. My name is Antonia Ramacher, and today we're going to study phrasal verbs with Sherlock, your favorite TV show character. So, well, of course, there is no doubt that this TV series is wonderful, and I'm not going to talk about it today, but let's get cracking. Let's study some phrasal verbs. So the first phrasal verb I picked up from this TV series, the first episode of the first season, is point out. So to point out means to indicate or to specify something. So as long as you are pointing something out, it means that you draw somebody's attention to a particular fact or something like this. So now let's take a look at an example from the series.
Oh, I am playing. This is my turn. The shaving foam behind your left ear. Nobody's pointed it out to you. Traces of where it's happened.
Nobody pointed it out to you. Nobody pointed it out that you have this foam on your neck. And nobody drew your attention to this fact. Now my example. I should point out that phrasal verbs are very important in the English language. Moreover, it is one of the most complicated issues of the English vocabulary. Let's continue. The second phrasal verb for today is to think through. Think through. It means to consider something very carefully, especially before making an important decision. So, when you think something over, basically, so think through, consider very carefully, usually before making a decision. An example from Sherlock.
Did he offer you money to spy on me? Yes. Did you take it? No. Pity we could have split the fee. Think it through next time.
Think it through next time. So Sherlock means that Watson should think about the situation very carefully before making a decision. And so if next time somebody offers him to pay money for spying on Sherlock, maybe it would be a good idea to take the money. Think it through. The next phrasal verb is fill in for. It means to substitute for someone or something. To take the place of someone or something. So, an example.
Have you talked to the police?
4 people are dead. There isn't time to talk to the police.
So why are you talking to me?
Mrs. Hudson took my skull.
So I'm basically filling in for your skull?
Relax, you're doing fine. Well,
I'm basically filling in for your skull. That's a very humiliating thing to do. Well, so it means that Watson was doing the job of the skull. He was listening, he was just listening, and that's it. He didn't need to do anything else. Just listen, so that Sherlock could build his line of reasoning and, well, think everything through. Now my example. I wonder who will fill in for Putin when the time comes. No idea. Moving on, put up with. So, to put up with means basically to endure or to tolerate something. When you have to live with it, put up with. It basically means to endure or to tolerate. So when you have to live with something and you can't do anything about it, you just live with it, you tolerate it, you endure it, you put up with it. It can be a person or a situation, whatever. An example.
You know him better than I do.
I've known him for 5 years, and no, I don't.
So why do you put up with him?
Because I'm desperate, that's why.
So, why did this policeman had to put up with Sherlock? He had no other choice. He was desperate, and that's it. So that's why he, had to put up with Sherlock. He had to work with him. He had to deal with him. Anyhow. Moving on. My example. putting up with each other's crap is part of and parcel of every strong relationship. Do you agree? You should. Moving on, the last but certainly not the least. Keep up appearances. This is more than a phrasal verb. It's a set expression because it's not just a verb and a postposition. There's also a word included, and this is the way the phrase should be used, exactly like that. You cannot change the constituent parts, only the tense form of the verb. Well, to keep up appearances means to maintain the public impression of well-being and normality. This is a very complicated description, but all in all, it is when you try to look better than you actually are, when you try to make others believe that everything is just fine in your life, it's fabulous, but actually it's not. So you keep up appearances, you try to look better, you try to look happier, or something of the kind. Now an example from the Sherlock series.
But everything you're wearing is at least 3 years old. Keeping up appearances, but not planning ahead. And here you are, a kamikaze murder-spree. What's that about?
So this man was keeping up appearances, so his clothes were freshly laundered. He was keeping up appearances. He wanted to look nice, and well, I guess the reason was that because he was a driver and he had to look, well, more or less nice. However, as long as he was going to die soon, he was not planning ahead. Yeah, he was just keeping up appearances. He wanted to look okay. But actually, nothing was okay in his life because he was going to die. Now my example. Keeping up appearances might be a very handy trick up your sleeve. I guess that nowadays everyone can do that. Of course, it's very essential, important to do it in the right place and in the right time, because you cannot do it all the time. You should be honest with your friends, with your family, but sometimes it's quite handy to be able to keep up appearances. Okay, that's it. So today we've studied 5 phrasal verbs. Point out, think through, fill in for, put up with, keep up appearances. They are crucial, they are essential, so try to remember them and use them in your speech so that they would be included in your active vocabulary. Well, but that's it for today. Of course, we're going to study some more phrasal verbs with Sherlock and some other TV series. So keep studying English, keep studying Russian with me too, because on this channel you can also study Russian, yeah. And hope to see you soon. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you later. Happy English and Russian practice. Bye.